Hey, if you miss us live, you can listen to us wherever you get your podcast.
My name's Tony Wood. I'm the general manager at Fred Bean's Key and Landlord. I just wanted to take a minute to talk about Larry Feldman at Career Changers USA. Larry and I have been working together for about the last 12 years now. And anything I've ever needed as far as recruiting, training, Larry's been right there. Larry's got me salespeople. He's got me managers. He's got me technicians, even through the toughest times in the industry. And he is just the kind of guy who's going to tell you exactly what's on his mind. He's going to tell you exactly what he thinks. But Larry also has the expertise to back it up. When he was in the dealership world, he was a top performer. And that's really important to my staff, especially as it pertains to training. A lot of people can come in and teach out of a textbook, but Larry has real world experience dealing with customers, dealing with situations in dealerships that we go through on a daily basis and try to train on. But Larry's been through it, so he can really empathize with the people and tell you what's worked for him and maybe what way not to go. Larry is just always at a 10. I mean, his energy level is always up there. And I think people, they just love that and they feed off of it. He's not faking it. He is genuinely excited to come in and help you. He's excited to come in and help grow your business. And he's one of those people who just really enjoys seeing dealers succeed and have a lot of fun at the same time.
Life is about connection. Having a support system to lean on. And roads to endless possibility. At every turn, guiding the way, we are building the connections that move you.
So what would your dealership feel like if your entire sales staff was literally on fire, your sales and service staff? They were nonstop all over social media, completely dominating your marketplace. They could do it in 30 days or less and then continue their education to do it for an entire 6 months or a year. You literally would completely take over the entire marketplace and no one would be able to compete with you. And that's what we can do for you. So when you're walking around your community, whether you're at local restaurants or you're going to the gym, if you don't want to be bothered, fine, you won't be bothered. But a lot of people will walk up to you and say, oh my God, I love your social media. Your staff is amazing. We love what you're doing in the community. We want to come buy a car from you. We want to get an oil change at your dealership. Your community is absolutely going to love you. And it doesn't matter what platform you're on. You could be on TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, all social media platforms. You will literally be all over the place. And not only will you have ads running, but your own staff is going to be promoting your brand and promoting themselves within the dealership and within the business. So it's like running an ad times 100-fold because your entire staff is participating in the process. I've traveled all over North America. I've trained Toyota. I've trained Nissan. I've been to driving sales. I've been to Women in Auto. I get hired as a speaker for conferences at universities all over the country. And I can help change the trajectory of your dealership right now.
This is Ian.
And this is Jeff. Here we are again at NADA 2024, but this time we're with like a star. So everybody else is just great. Sorry, guys, you're all great. But we have Kate Pachelli, right?
You got it.
From Pure Cars and like Automotive and the land. And I lost my fortune. They have these fortune cookies, so they're giving them out. I thought that's great. Maybe I could see if there was an 87 or a 13 for Travis or Taylor or something like that at the Super Bowl. But there wasn't, but it says there's no cookies or something. So
Yeah, cookieless future. Hello.
Exactly.
Great to see you guys.
please introduce yourself, your company.
Yeah.
Tell us about this cookie stuff.
Sure. Kate Pachelli. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer here at Pure Cars. I'm also from Canada, like some of our other friends here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a great NADA. It's great to always be back and, reconnect with all of our current customers, meet new dealers, and of course, all of our industry friends. So that's always been wonderful. Been good traffic. So we're really happy that we've had, great presence here so far at the show. We were really excited. Too bad yesterday you missed some fun we had in our booth. We had our friends from Meta here, and they had the new Quest 3 VR headset, and we had dealers come in and play with it over on the side of our booth, which was really fun. And we're also going to give away a Quest 3. So every dealer that completes a demo this weekend will be entered to win a new Quest 3.
But Jeff might. Jeff is a dealer. He might
Hey, take a demo, you can be entered to win. So
I would
that
feel
was
guilty. I wouldn't know what to do with it, but I'd feel guilty.
Yeah.
Well, you tried them out. Didn't we try that out at NQ a long time ago?
Yeah, but
You were bumping into stuff.
you know what? I
Oculus.
was just being silly. I was dancing. I was everything else, and
yeah.
their virtual showroom kind of got destroyed by me.
Uh-oh.
We were talking to Steve Kissick earlier, and he mentioned
Yes.
this thing, and I mentioned earlier about the fortune cookies. So what's the big deal about this cookie thing?
Yeah, it's a big deal. So Google has been talking about this for, talking about this for a couple of years now. They've talked about how cookies are going away. There's increased, privacy concerns and things like that. So we knew it's been coming, but now it's really coming. And Google has committed that, this year cookies will go away. Why does that matter?
Yeah.
You as a dealership, you're relying on cookies for a lot of your advertising.
Right.
You don't know who customers are that are hitting your website. So you use those cookies to retarget them and show them ads and entice them to come to your dealership. Well, now you're not going to have that information. So we're fortunate with the acquisition of the Autominer last year. We've now integrated that into Pure Cars, and we're able to take clean customer data from the DMS and from the CRM, and we enrich that data and then can create all kinds of custom marketing audiences for the dealer. So it's really relying on their first party data, which is the shift that dealers are going to have to make. That's going to become the most important thing that they focus on, is their own data.
So does that mean that the little thing that pops up that says accept all, reject all, that's gone?
That's going to be gone.
You have to.
They will not be able to know who you are unless you opt in. Yeah, exactly. So we do also, with the Autominer, we have some enhanced technology that we call Pure Identity, and we're able to work some magic and start to identify anonymous website traffic, because we know maybe Jeff has been, he's been a loyal customer of a dealership. He's a regular service customer, and he is a dedicated pickup truck driver, right? That is Jeff.
Dedicated. Yeah.
But maybe one day Jeff goes on his dealership's website, starts thinking, you know what, maybe I want a new pickup truck, and I'm going to take a look at see what they've got in stock. But he sees on the homepage a shiny red Corvette, and Jeff's going to click on that Corvette because he's like, hey, I always want to see what a great Corvette looks like. So he looks at the Corvette, and he goes back to his Silverado and starts thinking, yeah, you know what, I'll go and visit the store next week. So Jeff clicks off the website and closes it. Well, guess what's going to happen? If a dealer doesn't know who Jeff is, Jeff's going to start seeing ads for that Corvette. Do we think that's a good use of that dealership's advertising dollars?
I don't know. Jeff's wife might kick Jeff out of the house.
It's probably not the best use because we know that Jeff is through and through a pickup truck driver.
Yeah.
So with Pure Identity, we're able to now start piecing bits of data together and figure out who you are when you're on that website and then serve you up the right ads.
Very cool.
Very cool.
So even if Jeff had another identity for, say, like Batman, that would be a problem.
Well, you know, there is a saying.
He has a secret identity.
I'm not saying I'm Batman, but nobody's ever seen us in the same room together.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know.
So that's very interesting. You know, it's very funny because I think of as a person, as a dealer, you know, like it's just all accelerating at this crazy pace. You come here to the show and you know, you can tell us this because you're in the digital world. How the heck does a dealer figure out what the gosh darn to do? Because everything's great and better, and the booth over there's got a lady with a plume on her head, and you know, it's
there's a lot of distractions here.
Yeah,
that is for sure. Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So you obviously being in this position of somebody trying to sell stuff, but people there trying to buy stuff.
Yeah.
What do you say to people?
Yeah. I think you know, from Pure Car's perspective, we've got the benefit of being around for the last 15 years. So we've got, you know, a great track record, great history. We also have 17 OEM relationships. So we've been vetted by the OEMs. We're able to get co-op funding and all those good things for dealers. And so we hope that, you know, a lot of that will translate into, you know, a good reputation, a trusted relationship, and that they know that they can come to us and they're not only going to get, you know, the preferred pricing, but great experience, people that have been in the business a long time. And wherever possible, you know, try to get a one-stop shop where you can get as many services with one vendor as you can, because we know dealers don't want to spend time with 20 different vendors when they don't have to. So if you can try to consolidate that and work with a really strong, reputable company, then I think that's, from a Pure Car's perspective, that's what we try to communicate.
So what you're seeing, I mean, we've interviewed a few technology companies, shockingly, at NADA. What are you seeing as the trend from an OEM and from a dealer perspective, as they, I guess, are recognizing that the change from Google is coming? I mean, what kind of questions are they asking you about what that means to them? Well, finally, of course, at last minute.
Yeah, no, and I think it's really interesting because the OEMs, obviously, you know, a lot of times they dictate who the dealers can use for certain services like this. And I think that a lot of the OEMs are now just catching up with the customer data platforms and all of those data initiatives, and they don't even have necessarily approved programs yet. So I think they're still catching up and they're learning and they're trying to really figure out their direction. So we're fortunate that we were early into the game, and we've been able to work with a lot of our OEM partners and really help guide some of those conversations and figure out, you know, the right approach and kind of influence some of those conversations. So it's definitely, you know, you can look all around us. There's, you know, there's advertising and there's data pretty much everywhere. And a lot of companies you may have seen in the last couple of weeks have been announcing a lot of partnerships where they're, you know, they're partnering together to come up with a solution. And I think that we were very fortunate with the acquisition of the Automotive last year is that we now have it all in-house. And we've got that full solution. So we've spent the last year doing all of that integration and making sure that, you know, we've got a really solid solution for dealers.
Are you seeing any difference in dealers' attitudes this year, since how there's been a big change in the market?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I heard a lot of complaining last month. They had a pretty rough January. So they're definitely getting more cautious with their ad spend. They want to make sure and that's, you know, one thing that we've always preached is we don't want to see wasted ad dollars. Right. Whether you're spending, you know, $2,000 or you're spending $25,000, we don't want to waste your money. We want to make sure that we're spending it wisely, and we will look across all different channels to get that best return for you, because search, social, those might not be the best channels for every dealer. So sometimes it's streaming television, sometimes it's email marketing. You really have to choose what works best for each dealer. So it's not a one size fits all solution.
Right. So what, I guess, are your expectations for the show, and how do you think it's going so far?
I think it's been great so far. We've had, some of our existing customers come, which is always great.
Yeah.
And sometimes, it's with that acquisition of the Autominer, some of our existing customers haven't had a chance to really sit through it and see it and experience it.
So it's demo a little too long. Is that what I'm saying?
No, they just haven't. They just haven't had a chance to. And so sometimes they just want to see us face to face, and they want to come in person. And so it's been great to sit down and have those group discussions. So I think the more that we can really communicate the benefits of the two companies coming together, connecting the data with the advertising is really what we want to get out of this show. Is really just selling the benefits of that and how we can help.
Fantastic. And what are some of the results your current clients are getting with the solution so far since the acquisition?
Yeah, it's been really strong. It's been great for Pure Cars because it's now expanded the channels that we can communicate on. So historically, where we were search, social, streaming TV, YouTube, that type of thing, we now can expand that to email, SMS, direct mail. So more channels. So it makes us that one-stop shop that we really wanted to be. And we also just recently completed a case study with Meta where we used those clean customer audiences from the Autominer.
Okay.
We combined it with some of Meta's new machine learning audiences. Okay. And we were able to drive some really impressive results. We just published the case study on our website. And we saw, in certain cases, we saw an 18 times lift in the performance of those campaigns because we're using precise customer data.
So does that also allow you to twin data with somewhat similar, or is that? Yeah?
Yes, exactly. So that's what Meta's Advantage Plus audience will help do, is that it ingests that data with machine learning. It helps to find similar audiences.
So, for example, if someone was like Jeff and had a second identity like Corvettes, you could find other people who maybe had a second identity like Corvettes that might actually want to.
100%. And then, then you're targeting the right people with the right ads, which is all we're hoping to do.
And maybe you could target Jeff's wife because she knows she doesn't like Corvettes.
She actually likes Corvettes, but what she really wants is that 6x6 military. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like $500,000. It's bulletproof.
Oh, that's
machine guns, and it's available for only exactly. So if there was one thing you would describe the show, what would that one thing be? One description for the show.
The one thing I always notice and love about NADA is I call it like an annual reunion, right? It's really the reunion of everyone in the industry to come together, whether it be vendors and dealers and a combination of all the above.
Cool podcasters.
And cool podcasters, of course. But I don't know about you, but I walk around and all I see is people giving hugs.
Yep.
All day, all weekends. And I think that that's what's really great about NADA every year.
The 2 shows ago, so I don't know if it's 2 or 3 years ago, I described it as the Great Hugathon because I went through 2 years of, I know people are hugging everywhere. And, it's really quite neat. The best part is coming out of this digital world we've been in, or this virtual world, virtual world, and you see somebody and you go, holy cow, that's so and
100%, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like you're old friends, but you've never met in person.
Yes. Yeah. So obviously all the technology and seeing the latest and greatest is always wonderful. And, but I just feel like if I had to pin down one thing that described it, I would say it's a reunion of friends coming together, former colleagues, current colleagues, whatever it might be. It's always just great just to bring the industry together.
It's really terrific. I really thank you very much. And of course,
thank you.
I think we met virtually and then saw the show and everything else. Yeah. And I appreciate you taking the time.
No, thank you guys.
Appreciate supporting us by being here.
Thank you.
Maybe Jeff will see a demo and enter your contest. You never know.
No, I don't want to do that. I'm about to faint.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hey, if you missed us live, you can listen to us wherever you get your podcast.